Preseason week 3. Joe Madden, Lauren, 2 chicks, 1 ball. Let's do it,
chicks,
Joe.
1 ball.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We got 2 games tonight. We got the Packers against Joe's not so favorite team, the Chiefs. And then the Niners in Houston against the Texans. And as, par for the course here, the lines have been everywhere, very volatile. At one point, I think the Packers were the underdog. Now they're the favorite. It's just gone all over the place because preseason's a mess. But, hey, it's preseason. We'll take what we can get. Week 0 is coming up on Saturday. We are firmly approaching football season where it's real football. And I couldn't be more excited. And I know you couldn't be either.
It is going to be an absolutely fantastic week kicking off tonight. I can't wait to see these games. We're actually going to have a competitive one between the 49ers and the Texans, in my opinion, tonight, with starters actually coming out in this game. It looks like we will see the 49ers at least for a quarter, I'm expecting, if not the full half. Kyle Shanahan said, it's his players' health is his highest interest. But he said at least a couple drives, max a half. I think 1 quarter. The Texans have so much to get together, you guys. I think their players come out after the half. I think we see them for that 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I'm actually with you there. I think that, Texans have a pretty decent bench. We've seen them do pretty well, I think, in the preseason relative to the fact that they are actually the Texans. But it should be a good game. I heard the saying that their starters are expected to play. We have the running backs battling it out for the Texans too. So you're thinking Texans will win it?
Yeah, I'm sprinkling on that line. I'm grabbing them plus the points. I think it's going to be scary. If you're taking the Texans and the points, it's going to be terrifying until that 4th quarter. They're going to pull it back. Both these teams are 2-0 right now in the preseason. With the 49ers, they're going to get up. They're going to get up fast. If you could halftime bet this on your book, I'd definitely take the 49ers for the first half. But the Texans will crawl back into this game. They have to get things going for the regular season coming up.
Yeah, I'm with you. What do you think of the over-under? Last I saw it was 40.5. I don't know if maybe it's moved since, but I like the over. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm completely with you on this over. So last week in the 2nd week of preseason, it was a 50-50 split for these over and unders. This game, because it's going to be competitive, I really do lean to that over, even though it's at 41.5 now, Lauren, opened at 39. I think we go over the total.
I think so too. I think we're going to see it go over for sure. So Texans money. So Niners first half, Texans money line over 41.5, if that's what it is now.
Absolutely. I'm going to grab the Texans plus the points as well, though, just to be safe. Okay. We know it's preseason. Anything can happen in those final moments. I don't want a field goal to screw over the 1 bet. So I'm going to take them on the both ways.
Yeah. I like it. All right. And is that the game that's going to be on Amazon Prime? One of the games is on Prime. And it's the first, I think, NFL game on Prime. Have you heard that?
It is. And I'm freaking out how to make sure it's on my TV. I only watch Prime ever on my computer. I know I have a smart TV. I've just never done it.
Yeah. I got to look into it too. I'm very when it comes to streaming services, are you a Netflix girl? Amazon girl? Well, you're probably not an Amazon girl if you don't have Prime on your smart TV. How about Hulu? How do you feel about Hulu?
I've never checked it out ever. I'm not unless it's sports, I really don't watch it. No. I'm really bad.
That's right. Yeah, you say that TV shows are TV shows always make you fall asleep.
Yeah. Always.
Well, I gotta say, Hulu actually has some pretty good programming. Yeah. Hulu's got this show, Pam and Tommy, is great. I highly recommend you watch it. It is about Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee back when that video was made, and it's amazing. Yeah, it's great. I highly recommend that, just as a side note. All right, so next up, we got Packers and Chiefs. They're actually the first game of the night. So What are we thinking here? Aaron Rodgers, who I know you like, I think it's already been said he's definitely not playing. I think it's TBD on Mahomes whether or not he's actually going to play. I think he's played only one game this preseason. If that's right.
Yeah, last week.
So, maybe he comes out for a little bit. Maybe he doesn't. I think candidly, regardless of whether or not Mahomes plays, I like the Chiefs this time. Like the Packers running game is not amazing. Their defense sucks. So kind of all of those factors together, and I know this is not like all that scientific of an analysis here, obviously, but this is just kind of like hunch analysis of just like Chiefs just feel better to me going into tonight. Last I saw, and again, this may have moved, but the totals were at 37.5. I like the under for this game. So I like Chiefs money line under 37.5 points, assuming it's still at that. It may have moved. And Chiefs also, it's plus money. It's plus money at 110 because Packers are the favorite. So, where are you with it?
I can't believe this. I am like exactly on the same page as you tonight. I love the Chiefs here. I really do think. I really do think we'll see Mahomes come out. We look at the Green Bay Packers. I have hated what I've seen out of their defense so far in preseason. We're going to see Jordan Love out there. And it's kind of like one of those situations where what's going to happen with Jordan Love with the Green Bay Packers? Like, are they looking to trade him? Is he going to stick around? He's not the answer for the Green Bay Packers. He's never going to replace Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that he's ever going to get a chance in Green Bay, no matter if he does step up, right? I look at this team. Right. I don't think Love is trustworthy. I think the defense is just not playing well at all. I think KC comes out and really plays strong. So we saw KC great against Washington the other week. So even if Mahomes doesn't come out, I think you take KC straight up here on the money line, and I think it's a done deal. I love the over or the under as well. I think this is a low scoring under 37.5. I think it's a solid way to go with this game.
Yeah, I think so too. I saw this stat too that I'm starting to look more kind of at the bigger picture stats, which you're always really good at doing, Joe. But I did read that Green Bay is 0-6 in the straight up in its last 6 preseason road games. This is a road game for them. Like, they don't have a history of it. And I think that, you look at that, just kind of overall team performance also reinforces Chiefs on this one. So we're locked up.
Absolutely. And we're going against the money. That's the scary thing. The money came in heavy on the Packers. Like you said, Packers opened as the favorite. So much money came in as the dogs, so much money came in on them. They became the favorites. So it's going to be an interesting game to see. Like, the Sharks hammered Green Bay at first, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it with their backups, with no starters starting. So this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, no, definitely. So that's the games for tonight. Obviously, we've got a good schedule all weekend. Plus, you layer on, week 0 for college football, which is exciting. I mean, we'll take it. We'll take what we can get, right? So that'll be good. I know we'll probably talk about the weekend games, at some point tomorrow. So we'll dive into that, schedule later. But I did want to ask, because as much as I've talked to you, Joe, I don't actually know the answer to this, but I would love to know, how did you even get into this business? Because you're so established now that, like, I can't picture you doing anything else but this, because you're so good at it and you're so natural at it. And, like, you're so respected, but I'm just so curious, like, how did you end up here?
Okay. Guess what I was before? Before I became in this space, guess what I did for a profession?
Were you a news anchor?
No, I wasn't. I was an accountant, designated accountant, and I hated my life. And so I always loved sports, and I kind of looked into it, Lauren. So long story short, I've always loved talking sports, watching sports, betting sports. I wrote the biggest rant, and I put it on Facebook, and I put it on this other site. It was kind of like where you can post I can't remember what they're called now. Like, It was like 5-6
little
years ago.
blogs or something.
Yeah, blogs. That's what it was. So I posted on the site, posted it on Facebook, and it was a rant about being a female and betting, and as a single female, what guys wanted to bet you. And I can tell you, they didn't want to bet money. They wanted to bet sexual favors on both sides. And it was just like, what the hell? So I wrote this rant. It kind of like went viral to the point where like I was having people call me like, seriously, this is what happened. And I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm getting offered if I win or lose a bet. Like it was disturbing. So my mom begged me to take it down and I didn't. I left it there and I was like, no, the world needs to know like how women are treated. Even like when I wasn't like in the industry, but I was just talking with my friends and with guys that I had met. So one thing led to another. I got picked up by a local show in my community. They're like, hey, we love like your spice and come on, be a co-host. Well, my co-host between us and everyone listening was a bigger fake than any other guy that I'd ever met. So I went independent in this industry and I was like, I love this industry. It was everything that I wanted to do and didn't know that it was actually a profession.
Yeah. You are, that's incredible. Like I already knew you were a badass, but that's like an incredible story. I had no idea. You know, it's funny though, you saying that you were an accountant before. That's actually not surprising at all because I've said before how mathematical and like just very kind of pragmatic you are in your approach to things. And that, I mean, you must have been a terrific accountant because you're amazing at what you do now, but there's so much overlap.
Well, it's funny because I went from telling people not to spend money to let's like save money, not do this, not do that, like going over their management reports, telling them they spent too much on this party to now being like, you guys, come on, we are going to sit here. We're going to put our money on the Texans tonight to win this game. Like, it's crazy. It's such a difference, but I couldn't imagine being in any other industry. Lauren, how did you get started?
I was I did a lot of daily fantasy picks. And so, you know, like I told you, you know, I'm in Texas and so you can't bet in Texas, but you can do DFS, like pick 'em, you know, and which are basically just player prop parlays. So I would do those and then, you know, I'd share them to social media and, you know, nobody really, you know, some people looked at them, some people didn't. And then all of a sudden people started looking at them. And then I would go to Vegas on occasion and, you know, do stuff at Circa or place bets. And then people started paying attention to what I was doing when I would do that. And then I seem to have caught fire when I did that $500 WNBA bet that, you know, I talk about all the time because it's just like such a ridiculous story. But and for anyone who doesn't know that story, basically the like too long don't read of it is the Aces were playing the Chicago Sky. The Aces were like a 9-point favorite, chalky as hell on the money line. And I was like, oh, I'm going to just prove a point and put $500 on the Aces because they're a lock, you know, so what, it doesn't pay out that well. Well, they ended up losing and it was the biggest comeback in WNBA history. And, you know, I ended up getting some attention from that. But I actually, when I graduated from college, I was a banking regulator. I worked for the federal government and did a bunch of stuff with financial institutions. So I also have like a, you know, kind of finance background, but never felt like I had a finance mind, but have just done a lot of different things kind of in that world for a long time. But sports and betting, like it's just a hobby and, you know, really good people can make it their profession like yourself, Joe. Like you're so good at, you know, just presenting everything and actually doing it. But I'm still just doing it for fun, for shits and giggles. But you know, it's great. And like, you know, it's so interesting what you're saying too about, you know, the way that women are spoken about or spoken to, you know, just generally, but it's almost like in the sports world, it can be exasperated, I think, a little bit more because it's so male dominated. And, you know, I think it's getting easier for women, but it's still very hard. And, you know, a lot of kind of interesting rhetoric around attractive females who are talking about sports or, you know, any of that. And that can sometimes be discouraging because it minimizes really like all it is that, we have to say. And, especially when I look at you, Joe, all of what you have to say is, based off of your like professional, assessment of things. And I think it's just fantastic that you're part of that, dialogue, and you're part of what shows, I think, the industry that, men or women can do this. It's sort of a genderless thing. Like, we can all do this and all be good at it and all have fun doing it. But yeah, I can't even imagine how difficult it probably was for you in the beginning getting into this. So yeah, I'm so glad you kept with it.
Yeah, it's not for the lighthearted of women either, because you're going to get those comments, you're going to get those calls. And sometimes it's really disheartening, Lauren, and I'm sure you feel the same way. You can post a picture where you look great in it. You get 5 million people wanting to comment and like on it. You can post a pic that hits beautifully. You had all your reasoning there. And you get 4 people like saying, okay, nice job. It's like, you know, this industry is so bizarre because we have to do both as women, which is a double-edged sword.
It is. It is. But that's also the great thing about being a woman, is that we can be so many things, and you can be, sexy and smart and wear what you want and say what you want to say. And I think that, and I said it before, like that can make some people very uncomfortable. Yeah. But I think it's great that, there's a lot of women out there who embrace it and a lot of men who support it. And, I think we just keep trudging forward and kicking ass, and, and I think that makes a big difference.
Absolutely, it does. Now, I have to ask you one question. You did a TikTok the other day. Something really resonated with that TikTok with me. You said in that TikTok that people say to you, oh, a guy just gives her pics. How many times have you heard that? Because I know I've heard it a million. We sit here and we talk.
A lot. And oftentimes it's said, fairly innocently. Yeah. It's not always malicious. It's always like, oh, does your husband give you your pics? Or, or sometimes it's like, well, where are you getting your pics from? I can give you pics instead. So yeah, I get asked that a lot. There's also like a TikTok thing of like, how rich you'd be if you were asked certain things. Eventually, like, put it that way, I'd be fucking rich. Like, it gets asked all the time, and it's, like I said, it's, I think oftentimes asked innocently, but it's still something where it's like, what, you think that like I can't do this, but yeah, it sounds like you probably get asked that all the time too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really did think that would change over the last year when I'm like live and talking so many different sports with people. I don't know what guy could be sitting there in my earpiece and be able to feed me stuff so quickly. I can't believe it still. Even a question mark, and especially for you as well. I've seen you on shows. There's no pausing. There's no thinking. There's no reading off a script. So hats off to you, Lauren. I'm so glad you're killing it in this industry. And I'm so glad we're able to do this show together because I'm excited for it. We need 2 chicks talking ball. I can't wait.
That's right. I love it. I'm so glad that we're doing this together too. And, yeah, well, let's do it tomorrow. We got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday games to talk about tomorrow. So we'll be back tomorrow.
Okay, you guys, thanks so much for joining us here. 2 chicks, 1 ball. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll post the times on our new Twitter. If you guys haven't heard, we started a Twitter. We have an email. Everything is in production, I guess you'd say, Lauren.
Yeah, it'll be really official when we have like polo shirts or something, but we'll get there.
Oh, can you imagine what these shirts are gonna look like, you guys? They're gonna be great.
Okay, guys. Awesome, girl. Well, we'll talk tomorrow, okay?
We'll talk tomorrow. Thanks, guys.